What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So I am really glad you're listening right now. I really am. Why? Because I want this episode to be an episode that lights a fire under your ass a little bit. I want it to be a reminder for you to start that thing, of why you need to start that thing, that goal you have, that vision you have for your life, that dream you want to come true. And I'm going to be honest, I might say some things that you might not like, but it's never stopped me before on here. And at the end of the day, it's always for your benefit and something that you need to hear. And what it is the idea that you are being selfish if you don't go for it, if you don't go for those goals and dreams. So let's get to it. And if this is your first time listening, or you haven't heard me say this before, because lately I've been getting new listeners, so please, let's keep this thing going. Please share my podcast if you like what I have to say, or if you know somebody who would benefit from hearing the things I have to talk about, right? Please share this with them. But for the people who haven't heard me say this is not one of those podcasts where I tell you what to do because I have everything figured out and I quote unquote made it to the top. No, that's not what this is. I'm on this journey with you. The things I talk about on here are the things that I'm doing right now with you. Things that I am implementing into my life and things that I'm working on too. We are in this together. And I also have to say this. As humans, myself included, a lot of times, way too often, we are our worst critics. And what happens is we turn into the very thing that holds us back, the very thing that stands in our way from us getting to where we want to go. And even if you don't believe it, borrow some belief from me that it is possible for you to accomplish those things you want to accomplish. But I also want to light that fire inside you so you can understand that the time is now. Not next week, not next month, not when you think you'll be less busy. It's right now that we need to take action. Action is what's going to give you clarity. Action gives you that feeling of accomplishment when you start to see some progress. Action leads to growth. And what I don't want for you, and myself included, is to get to the end of the road and have it full of all the coulda, woulda, shouldas of what could be if you would have just built the life that you deserve. Now, I don't know exactly who all listens to this podcast, and I don't even need to know you personally to know that you deserve the life that you have been gifted that vision for. Those goals, those dreams, the vision that you want to create. All those things are possible because you are the person who can make it happen. Nobody else has that exact same vision you have. Similar, maybe, but not exactly like you see it, like you want it. That is in you because you are the person that can make it happen. But you just have to get out of your own damn way, like I said a few episodes ago. So let's get to it. So I saw a quote today, and I can't remember who it was from, but it stuck with me. And it said, "You honor the dream by doing the work." And I love this quote, not only because the phrase "do the work" has kind of become my slogan. I have about 5 different shirts with those words on it. But this quote implies that we need to raise the necessity to how we show up for the dream. We need to stop making all the damn excuses why we aren't showing up, why we're not starting, making the excuses of when the time is going to be right. Because by doing the latter, we're not honoring the dream. We get in our own way. And to honor it, we have to go get it. We have to put in the work. We have to do the work. And what kind of work gets done no matter what? What kind of work that it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, we will figure out how to get it done? The kind of work that is our highest priority. Now, I've used this example before, but if you have kids or a pet, you wouldn't ever say, oh, I'll feed them next weekend. I really want to finish this Netflix show. No. Why? Because not only is it a responsibility to keep your kids and your pets alive, but they are a priority in your life. So we have to go get it and do the work. And I really want to talk about this idea with you that is actually selfish if you don't go for it, because there are people in your life that will benefit from it. And not just from a financial standpoint, but there are people who will see you and see what you did is possible. That it's living proof, living, breathing proof. Maybe they look like you or identify with who you are. People in your family and friends, younger people like your nieces and your nephews, people looking up to you and will benefit from seeing you do it. And like I said, you have been gifted the vision. And I truly believe that part of the exchange in life, in the universe, is for you to give back to the world by showing them your vision. And you ain't going to achieve that vision unless you take action and go for it by doing the work. And we really need to adopt this idea of it being selfish to not go for it when we feel like we just don't have the time. And look, there is a time and a place. We go through seasons in which we go after goals, and certain seasons require a certain pace, faster or slower pace, depending on where you are mentally and all the other moving parts you have going on in your world. But we have to acknowledge that we have full plates. We all have a lot on our plates. I know I damn sure do. We are all busy people. And the last thing added to the plate that's already full is usually the first thing that goes when life gets crazy. I'm going to say that again. The last thing added to a plate that's already full is usually the first thing that goes when life gets crazy. So we have to raise that necessity that this goal and these dreams I have that don't look like anybody else's are really damn important. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. So just humor me a little bit with this one, that is selfish if you don't go for it. Because if you really think about this idea that you have on your heart, let's say you know exactly what it is. Or maybe you say you don't know what it is, because if you say that you don't know what it is, then you don't have to actually go for it. Because if you say it out loud, then you really have to go for it, right? Because now other people are watching. And let me just pivot for a second. But sometimes when we say what we're going after or what our dreams are, it might sound crazy to other people because they don't have the same vision as you. They can only give advice from their own experience. So they might not be chasing their dreams at the levels you will be chasing your dreams at. So you might be afraid to say it out loud because it'll sound crazy to them. So again, humor me with this one. So I want you to think about it like this, that this dream was put inside you for a reason. It is not by accident. It is for you. Maybe you don't have everything you need at the moment to make it come to fruition, but you have to start. You at least have that mental spark. Now it's just time to take action so you can get some clarity. You're not going to figure it out by sitting around and thinking about it. No, you have to just go. Literally. Plus, when you start, even if it's just a tiny little baby step in the right direction, it gives you some momentum. And that momentum will feel good. Like, okay, I did that. I can do this. Here we go. And then you just stack the days. You stack those wins and you just keep going and going and going. And I want to ask you this. So let's shift down to your heart, this heart you have. And you know, if you have a heart like this, like you really, truly want to make an impact, it really matters to you. And maybe you don't know exactly what to do right now. And maybe it keeps you up at night. Or maybe you're at work and these ideas just pop up in your head. Or you see something that's a reminder of this vision you had and you have a gut reaction to it. My question is, do you think that's in you by accident? Do you think that your resilience, all the curveballs in life that you've had to go through, all the things you've had to overcome in life, and especially if you have tried to work on this dream before, and even though you're being stagnant right now, it's still there. Despite all the problems you've had to navigate, do you think that resilience is inside you by accident? And if you're in a season right now where things are just really hard on multiple levels, first, I want to say that you are stronger than you think, and you will get through this. And two, this season is building that resilience. This only proves further that the vision you had, that you're made for this. Even when it feels like you're dropping the ball, you are handling this. And even when you get that gut feeling, and I definitely get this gut feeling or this feeling in the back of our mind, this uncomfortable feeling, and ideas keep popping up in your head, and the feeling is uncomfortable because you know you got this dream. You know you can be doing more, doing better when it comes to truly applying yourself. You ever get that feeling? It's almost like guilt, right? That feeling should be looked at like a gift, because it really is. Instead of it being a negative feeling, you need to shift and use it as fuel. That feeling is what separates you from other folks who don't have a vision or a desire to go after something. And that feeling in your gut or in the back of your head is wanting you to push yourself. But you have to do it. You have to be the one to use it as fuel. And sometimes that feeling can cause what's called paralysis by analysis. Paralysis by analysis. And it's this notion that because you have so much in your head, you want to do so much, you're not sure where to start, which step to take first, and you're analyzing and you're thinking about it. And when it comes time to actually take the action, you don't take any action because you can't. Not because you can't physically do it, but because mentally you just can't take that step and you get paralyzed. You just sit there. You ever have that happen to you? Where you know you need to be taking action, doing things, working on that project, and you know you have all these steps and you think and think and think and think and think, and you try to figure out what to do first until eventually you look up and all this time has gone by and you haven't even started. And you can still use this as a fuel. You can still use this as a fuel because the thoughts are still there, and that's the gift. You have it all in your head. You just need to do it. Understand that most people don't have that in their minds. They really don't. So don't let it paralyze you. So go ahead and start to write things down and figure it out on pen and paper, but do not take a whole bunch of time with that part because you will be back at step one and not taking any actual action, right? But then once you write it down, you have to take action right away. All those thoughts in your head are your gift. Use them. It is a gift. And if you don't show up for yourself and figure out how to solve this thing, there are people out there who won't get to see somebody like you do it. Because think about it. Most people don't dream or have big goals and dreams, and even fewer of them take any action at all. So what if you have this dream inside you and this willingness to do things like listen to a podcast and work on yourself and take steps towards something that you've never done before? What if your willingness to do all this is because you are supposed to make it happen? That is what's meant to be. So just entertain that thought in your head for a second. So honor your dreams and do the work. Understand that the struggle is a part of it. Feeling like you're lost is part of it. Now, if you follow me on social media, and maybe it even comes across that way on here, but I have a bad habit of doing like the rest of social media does, and I only post my highlights, my accomplishments, the projects, the accolades. And people always tell me how they see me, quote unquote, doing my thing or making big moves. And I'm realizing that it could come across like I have it all together, like I don't ever struggle, like I know what I'm doing at all times. When in reality, that is not the case. I feel lost. I feel like I don't know what to do next. I get paralysis by analysis often. I get overwhelmed. I mess up. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I compare myself, even though I know I should not be doing that, comparing myself to other people, because it's hard as hell not to compare yourself to other people. But I'm working on it and getting better. And I feel like I'm not where I should be. I'm just like everybody else. All of us go through at least some of that. And understand this. This is normal. This is part of the process. This is part of the journey. This is necessary. This is necessary. We have to go through these stages. And by working through all these things and being consistent and showing up for yourself when you're working on these things and going after goals and taking steps in the right direction and picking yourself up when you fall, all this is grooming you, is turning you into that person who is somebody that does accomplish those dreams. Because we just aren't those people yet. We're not. And that's okay. But we have to become them. And this is part of that process. But you have to take the action. Otherwise, you won't become the person who accomplishes those things that you want to accomplish. And I want you to really think about that. And like I always say, I'm on this journey with you, and I truly want you to grow, and I will be taking these steps right with you. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.